Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I have another pickups video for you here. I know I said that I wasn't going to be picking up a whole bunch of stuff in the near future just because I'm trying to weed out my collection, but I'm still checking the stores and I'm still finding a few things that I want to add in. I did make a couple of errors here in my purchases. I think I kind of went a little overzealous with it, but again, you live and learn, and it's a learning process for me, this whole collecting thing. So I'm going to keep at it and keep sort of refining my skills here. The first thing that I'll show you actually did not come from thrifting. This was something that my father picked up for me when he was in Florida. He went garage sailing. Kind of wish that he really went a ton of garage sailing down there, because I'm sure he could find a lot of stuff fairly cheaply based on just what I see on YouTube and things like that. But he did pick me up one item, which I'm really appreciative for, because I'm glad that he actually recognized it was something that I'd be interested in. So he picked me up one of these FC super loaders from Hyperkin. This plays NES cartridges. It's just the single slot one. I believe this is probably the first one that came out. I already have an NES system, so I really have no particular use for this one necessarily, but it's kind of cool. I mean, the controllers have turbo function, stuff like that built into them, so it's kind of neat, but super cheaply made, and I'll show you that in a second here. So I'll open it up. For this, by the way, he paid $2, so no big loss all around, and I appreciate the fact that he was thinking of me. So here's the console, and I think probably my cell phone probably weighs a little more than this. This thing is so light, it's pretty unbelievable. It doesn't weigh even as much as like a Wiimote or anything like that. I probably have games that weigh more than this with their manuals in it. It's crazy how light this is. But it has the AV out and the AC in kind of thing in the back there, and inside it's mostly air and just a 72 pin type connector, a few wires here and there, and probably a really small board. I heard that these ones don't play everything, and it's definitely not perfect, but still kind of cool that he found this and he was thinking of me when he did it. So in here also is the AC adapter, and the cool thing about this is it's in great shape too. Has one of these type of controllers here. You can see like it has like the slow down turbo kind of function there, start and select obviously, and then this really strange sort of D-pad, which is like directional. So I don't know, it might be interesting. It depends on how responsive this is, but again, this feels really, really cheap. We'll have to see how it goes though, because it's kind of interesting. Like, it's not just the up down, it has kind of like angled sort of style. I'm not really sure what you call this sort of directional pad, but still kind of neat. There's two of those in there, and everything else, like all the wires and everything are in there. I'm not going to bother to show you all that, but for $2, that's pretty neat nonetheless. I'll put that up on the shelf, and luckily it's one thing I don't need to clean up, so it's in really really clean shape. There it is right there again. What I'm looking forward to is actually the Retron 5 coming out, and this seems to be sort of like one of the first versions of that. Obviously it just plays NES games, but super pumped for that Retron 5 to come out. I think I'm definitely going to be interested in it, just considering the number of consoles and the wires I have all over the place. I really want to trim that out, and plus I only have an HD type TV down here, so I really need to I don't have room really for a old style television down here as well, so I really need something that's going to output an HDMI, so I don't have to fiddle around with all these wires and boxes and things trying to hook everything up that way. But super cool nonetheless, and happy to get it. Some of the other things that I picked up came from a thrift shop that I went to today. Hit up 3 different places. One of them I really didn't pick up much anything. It was actually my usual place. They had tons of games at Talese today, but just really not interested in a lot of the titles. Not a whole lot there that really sparked my interest. There are a few things I was kind of thinking about, but ultimately it didn't work out that way. But I did go over to a Goodwill and picked up this, which is not gaming related, but it's Magic the Gathering Heroes versus Monsters. This thing's brand new, and it was only $4, so I thought I would pick it up. I'm not a player of Magic. I mean, I used to play it way back in the day, probably when I was like 16, which is like 20 years ago. So this is really quite the cool thing though, I thought, when I saw it there, and I loved playing this back in the day, so I thought I would pick it up, and you definitely can't beat that for $4. This set here, in case you're not aware, I checked it out earlier, this came out in like 2013, so this might even be something that you'd still see in retail stores and things like that, probably for like 15 to 20 bucks at least. I don't totally know because I don't really collect this stuff anymore, but I might start if I keep finding things like this out there. I have picked up a number of different packs in the past as well on the cheap, so I do like the artwork and things like that on them, so at the very least for $4 I can check out, you know, the cards and things like that. Something else that I picked up from the same Goodwill was this game, which has been sitting there for quite some time but way overpriced. Originally they wanted $6 for this title, and I wasn't willing to pay $6 for it, and neither was anybody else, and I know that place gets hit up by tons of people. It gets hit up by collectors, it gets hit up by at least a couple collectors that I know of, personally talking through YouTube, and it definitely gets hit up by resellers that probably would never share the fact that they're just out there to make a buck kind of thing. So they would never share that they go to these places, but I know these places get cleaned out of everything good very quickly. And this thing here is not necessarily a bad game, I don't think. It's just that at $6 it wasn't worth it, especially the shape that it's in. So it's not in the world's greatest shape, but here it is. It's Avatar: The Last Airbender for the GameCube. GameCube titles are hard to come by, so I decided to, you know, pick this one up and at least check it out. The disc itself is not too bad, it's not too great. Obviously, you can tell immediately when you see one of these yellow stickers up here and on the back that this was something that came from EB Games originally, so it's at least, well, maybe not originally, but it passed through their hands at least, so it's been sold to somebody who sold it to EB, who sold it to somebody else, who donated it, or who knows how many hands this one's gone through. But when you see those stickers on it, they're usually in a little bit of beat up shape. But again, this one's not complete. But for that one, I ended up paying, because it was 75% off, I ended up paying $1.25, I think, or something like that. I can't remember exactly. So pretty good all around right there. The next thing that I picked up, and this one here probably is not going to work on Xbox Live anymore. It's Halo 2, the multiplayer map pack. I know that this one is actually interesting to some people because there are ways of going online with your original Xbox, just not sort of on Xbox Live servers. So there's other servers that people have created to play things like Halo 2, which they haven't been able to play, you know, otherwise. But this one here is totally sealed, which is really wicked. And it was only $5, so I thought I would pick it up. It's definitely cool for $5. And the next things that I'll show you all came from the same Value Village. Now, Value Village, I don't know where they get their pricing from. They're all over the place with their pricing, and I'll show you what I mean in a second here. Here we go. It's pretty funny, actually. The first game that I'll show you that I picked up was Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. And the only thing wrong with this particular game is it's not complete. The disc itself is in pretty good shape, and for this I paid $5, which might be about the price that it goes for. I don't think it probably goes for any more than that, considering the fact that it has no manual. There's sort of mixed reviews on this. I'm not totally, you know, sold on that. The guy at the counter said he really enjoyed the game, actually. He said he had played it before, because this was in a glass case, so he's kind of like showing me, and he's like, oh yeah, it's a really cool game. kind of thing. So, and I know I've sort of checked it out a little bit in the past, but now I'll get a chance really to go through it and see if I like it, or if the critics are, the overly critical critics are right on that one. The next one, and this is one of the ones I probably shouldn't have picked up. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. I found a bunch of different games, and I think I kind of went a little bit nuts on it, which is sort of reverting back to my older habits. But again, it's still a quality title. It's nothing to be ashamed of or anything like that. It's Blazing Angels Squadrons of World War II. So I'll definitely check that one out. The thing that captured my interest was those images on the back. It might be a pretty quality title. I'll definitely do a playthrough of this for myself and see if I enjoy it or not. For that one there, I paid $5, so it's not too bad really when it comes down to it. Unfortunately, it's not complete. And the disc condition, let's see here, it's probably seen better days. It's a little bit scuffed up, but it should definitely play. So we'll see about this one here. The next one, which I'm really happy to pick up, but again, this is where I start questioning their pricing. Blazing Angels was $4.99. Star Wars Force Unleashed was $4.99. This one here, they decided was more valuable for some reason, and they decided to charge $7.99 for it. But I was willing to pay it because I really want to check this one out. And recently that if you've been watching my videos, that I picked up this here, which is the Precision FX gun, and I really enjoy this one. This one has the built-in nunchuck and everything like that. It's super cool. I had a really good time playing this with House of the Dead Overkill, so I decided to pick up this title because back in the day, my wife and I used to go into a place nearby our place, which is called the Palladium, and the Palladium basically is a arcade that has a whole bunch of games, and a couple of the games that were there were these ones right here, House of the Dead 2 and 3. We used to play those quite a bit, so maybe I can get her in on this game with me. So pretty cool right there. Unfortunately, this one does not have its manual as per the other ones. It was used as well, you can see that right there. So that's kind of unfortunate, but the disc is in fairly decent shape. Few scuffs, minor scuffs, no big deal though. Can't wait to check that out, pull this out again and go nuts and go to town on that. The next one is, I don't know, you'll have to tell me what you think of this. And it's Excitebot's Trick Racing. And this here looks like a kart racer, but with, like Excitebots. So like transforming animals or something like that. I paid $7 for it. Cool thing about this one is though, it is complete, and not just complete, but it's also sealed, so it's factory sealed. And for that one there though, $7, I thought, I'd give it a shot. I heard it's pretty good. I know it doesn't have a ton of value, but that's not really what I'm looking at necessarily when I'm collecting. But brand new, $7, not too bad at all. The next title, and this is where I'm questioning this is where I'm getting to the point here, of what are they thinking with their pricing, because I don't totally understand it at all. Excitebots, brand new, sealed, $7. House of the Dead, $7. No manual, used, right? Then you've got $5 for this game, the Blazing Angels game, $5 for this one, and it's got no manual. And then Star Wars The Force Unleashed, no manual, it's $5 too. And then all of a sudden, you find this game, Rayman Origins. And what's it cost? $4. I don't get it. It's brand new, never been opened. Look at it, okay? I don't get what Value Village is thinking, but this game is probably worth what these games are together. This one's worth. So I don't get why it's the cheapest one in the whole pile. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I don't get where they get their prices. I'm confused. So let me know what they're thinking. I mean, if I look at the back of them, they all have the same blue tag on them. These blue ones, which I think indicates what day it came out on. So why one day when someone's putting out all these titles, which is what they were doing basically, because they're all in the same stack, what they were thinking. I don't get it, you tell me. But I really want to check out this game. I think it's pretty cool. I haven't totally checked out Rayman series, but I've heard that this is pretty decent all around. So I want to check it out. I want to kind of get caught up on Rayman type things. It's not going to be one of the highest ones on my order of things that I need to check out as far as going through some of the games in my collection, but I will eventually get down to playing this one. If you've checked it out, let me know what you think, and please comment also down below about the crazy pricing that's going on lately, because I'm totally confused. I don't get it. But again, killer deal I think for this one, to get that one for $4. I probably should have just picked this one up, and maybe that House of the Dead on its own though, I think. But pretty wicked all around. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all later.